Well, hello everybody. Today we're going to show you guys how to make some really neat little masks for your face protection during this COVID-19 pandemic. And we're going to be making them out of some Disney material. And just like us, you guys are probably missing the opportunity to go to Disney right now. And we are trying to get ready. So when we do go back to Disney, we will be ready. Now, we made a few masks ahead of time just to kind of show you guys what we came up with. And we used some Marvel fabric here. We obviously did that classic Minnie and Mickey Mouse that you just saw. And then we did some cars. We've got Tow Mater and Lightning McQueen here. Just another little classic Disney pattern here. Now we also have other fabrics that we have around. And we have some Stitch and some Toy Story and some more Marvel and even some Star Wars for you guys who are fans of Galaxy's Edge. You know, we have these fabrics because my daughter makes custom Mickey Mouse ears. So we're actually going to be making sets of ears to match our masks. So anyway, let's just get started. So I'm going to tell you guys, oh, here's Mike Wazowski and Baymax, and they're both going to get outfitted with masks today as well. For those of you who are at home and you are wondering about should you wear a mask, I know that these are not N95 grade, but what we did was we lined them with a very thick felt here. You can see this, and then you can machine wash these as well. And so we're going to go over the pattern. We're going to actually do a sewing demonstration on the machine, and we're going to show you guys how to make your own mask. And we're going to try to keep it as simple as possible. We also used the elastic to go around the ears here, but you can also change that out if you do not have elastic at your house. We can use ribbons, and we're going to show you that as well. Okay, let's get started. So the very first thing that my daughter did is she just drew out a pattern on her own because she sews, that she just made it very simple. And you could do this too, but we will also try to find a way to post this if you wanted to download and print it. Now, you cut out 2 of these in the felt, and then you cut out 2 of these also in your favorite material. Now when you cut out the pattern in your favorite material, you have to make sure that your material is folded this way. Let's show you how to put the pattern on this way so that you have each side facing out. Okay, so just make sure you fold your material in half like this, and then you would just place your pattern here so that you would get each side coming out so that your mask will show your favorite characters. So after you lay your pattern on top of your fabric and you cut your 2 pieces out, you will turn them inside out and you will just join them together with a single stitch along this edge there so that you'll be able to open it up like this and see your pattern on the inside. And then you'll set that one there to the side, and then you'll also do the same thing with the felt. You will just cut those 2 pieces again, sew them in the center here, just like so, and you can see that this line here, this is where it just kind of is a little bit of extra for your nose to fit in, and it really fits very snug around your chin. It really works out pretty well here. And we both wear glasses, so that works out. It doesn't seem to interfere with those. Now, once you get these together, you will turn them inside out and fold them. So let's do that. Okay, so now you have your 2 sets of materials. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pin them together so we can sew them together. And the inside, you're going to put your right sides facing together. So that means your seams will be facing out. So let me try to get that together here for me to show you. Okay, so again, the seam will be facing out because we're going to turn it after we sew it. So you have both of your seams facing outward. And then you can take some pins if you need them. And you can pin your fabric together for the sewing machine. And again, you're going to sew about a 1/4 inch seam around the entire edge. So you can pin these together. I'll do one more pin here and show you what I mean. All the way around. So pin all the way around and then leave this side open when you sew. Okay, and we'll show you that right on here on the machine in a few minutes. And then this way, when you're done sewing, you'll be able to turn it and your right sides will come out Now, the next step will be to take this over to the sewing machine. Let's go take a look there. I want to also mention about the elastic. You know, everyone's head's a little bit of a different size. So if you choose not to use elastic, you can actually take 18-inch pieces of ribbon or some other material of your choice, and you can go ahead and sew these inside, and then you can just tie it behind your head in a bow. So you could tie one, you know, up higher and one lower. So you would need 4 18-inch pieces of any kind of ribbon that you have. You know, at our house we love to craft, so we've got just all kinds of different colors of ribbon. Just make sure it's a good quality ribbon that won't fray and come apart, because the last thing you want to have happen when you're wearing your mask, especially if you're in an environment where, you know, the flu germs could be there, you don't want to have your ribbon come undone. Now, if you are out of elastic, we had some thin elastic, which we used like here on the Lightning McQueen and the tomato mask. And then we also had some thicker, you know, elastic like this, which we just cut in half. We made 2 pieces out of it. And so we used that here on these. And you know, they don't have to be perfect. If, you know, just use what you have at home. You know, it's hard, you can't get out to the store right now. You can't buy the exact things that you might want to have. And so be creative, you know, find material. Again, this is 100% cotton material, tight weave that we're using on the exterior. But this felt we have is a very, very thick felt. And so we did put it on, and yeah, it gets kind of warm when you're breathing in there, but it really is very thick. Now, when you go ahead, you know, sewing this on your sewing machine, you want to make sure that you put your settings for a pretty thick material, because there'll be times you're going to be going through 4 pieces of material. All right, let's go take a look. So we took a 7-inch piece of plastic and we just cut it down the middle to divide it into 2 equal halves. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're sewing together the 2 pieces of print fabric, and we're just doing that single stitch that connects the center pieces together. And then we'll do a little tiny back stitch at the end just to make sure that it's secure. Okay, so that we have. And you can see we just sewed the piece that goes right down the center of the mask. And the next part we're going to do is this felt part right here. We're going to join that together down the center. We'll do a little bit of a back stitch so it doesn't come apart. And remember, this is pretty thick fabric. It's 2 layers of very, very thick felt. This is a thicker felt. We got this at Hobby Lobby. It was $5.99 for a full yard of it. So we should be able to make a lot of masks out of that piece of felt. And you can use whatever color thread you want. This will be on the inside, so you won't be able to see it. But when you do your exterior cuts and sewing, you might want to pick some fun color thread. Okay, we'll do a little bit of a back stitch there, and that part is now done. So now we have the 2 outer layers and the 2 inner layers. They're attached now, so now we'll put them together. So we're going to put the insides together, and then the outer edges will be where the seam is, so that we can turn it. So as you can see, we have the outer edges sticking out on both sides. And then we're going to actually leave each of the ends open so we can turn it and put the elastic in. So we're going to be doing 2 long stitches to join the top of the fabric and the bottom of the fabric together. Actually, this is a pretty quick process. Probably sounds a little more complicated than it actually is for those of you who don't sew, For those of you who do so, you're already probably have this done before we even finish making this video. So we're trying to hold it at about a 1/4 inch seam. It's very thick, so take your time and make sure that you don't catch your needle. It's actually pretty fun to make these. You guys can think about different color combinations. You can think about different materials you can decorate your masks with. Might as well make it as fun as you can. So right at the end here, we'll put a back stitch in there, and that's going to complete the top half. And now we're going to leave both of the sides open, and we're going to just do the bottom half now. Doing a pretty tight stitch on these just so that they hold together pretty well. If you don't have a sewing machine, you could try to hand sew that. This will take some time to hand sew to make that stitch really tight, but you know, if you're inside and you are staying home, then this might be a great project for you to spend your time doing. So again, there's a little back stitch at the end of that side. So now both of the top and the bottom sides have been sewn. We'll go ahead and we're gonna put that under the camera and show you, and then we're gonna turn it for you under the camera. You're right there. So we've left each of the ends open, and we did that so we could insert the plastic or the ribbon, whichever one you have. Oh, here comes Winnie the Pooh! And Tigger too, and of course Piglet. He is so cute. You know, that is probably one of my very favorite rides at Disney World. I just love how creative it is, and I like how when you feel like you're going in that ride, all of a sudden it changes and you feel like you're floating on water, or you feel like you're going up and down, bouncing like Tigger. They're pretty creative there. So this is what the pattern is going to look like. You've got Pooh on the one side. I think this turned out so cute, and Tigger in the honey pot, and Piglet. So now we're going to show you how to put the elastic and the ribbon in. So the first option we're going to show you is just ribbon. It's 18 inches long, and you'll need 4 of those. So you can tie one around the top of your head and one in the back of your head, but we'll just tuck in the edge here. And now you can do either elastic or ribbon, but we're just going to tuck the ribbon in to show you how to do the ribbon, if that's what you have at home. Okay, so you would just tuck in your edges and then kind of just close them up, and you would put 2 of them in there, 2 on each side. Whoops, that one instead. Okay, yep, tuck in the second one there. Pretty easy. And then you would just go ahead and you would just sew a stitch right there, and that would secure that in. But since we still have not run out of our plastic yet, well, let's go ahead and make the ribbon one. But we would do elastic. We'll show you elastic on the other end. We won't actually sew the elastic, and we'll just show you how to tuck it in if you want to sew it. But this one's actually going to be made with ribbon. And I actually have Disney ears to match this, which I cannot show you because I don't have them here today. But in a future video, I'll have to find a picture of those and show them to you. Just a little back stitch, and just going to run a straight stitch. Make sure those ribbons are really secure so you can tie them tight, and that they won't slip out. And this particular ribbon is it's not very slippery. It has some texture to it, so when you do tie it around your head, it should stay put. that's pretty neat. That's really colorful. That's really fun. So there's also another option which you could do if you have at home. We have some of this cord. This is just like that paracord. You could sew that in as well. That might work. You have to hunt around your house and see what you can come up with if you don't have ribbon or you don't have elastic. But this is what this looks like here with the two ribbons on it. I like it actually. I think it's really fun, really pretty. Now we'll just show you how to put the elastic in the other side. Here's a 7-inch piece of elastic. We're not going to sew this one in because we're going to make the ribbons to match. But we'll just show you how to tuck that one in there. Kind of do on the other one. Just try to make sure it's even there. Well, I guess you just put end to end, right? That's all you need to worry about. Yep, and then you would just run your straight stitch again right there. Okay, but this time we're going to put our ribbon. Okay, so we're attaching the other two pieces of ribbon on the other side of the Winnie the Pooh mask. Well, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel, and we're going to do a couple other videos here. One we're going to do would be on the magic bands. We're going to show you guys how to change those out and to switch your magic bands up. And that will be coming up sometime this next week. And in the meantime, we'll just be working on masks and trying to find ways to get ready to go back to Disney. So stay tuned, and we'll be starting to post more videos again.